Upon assuming the administration of the waterway on December 31, 1999, Panama did not hesitate in taking the necessary steps to maintain its leadership in the maritime industry.
This led the Panama Canal Authority to prepare for an imminent reality. Due to the increase in world cargo transportation volumes, the waterway will reach its maximum capacity in the year 2012.
The solution: expanding the canal by building a third set of locks to allow post-Panamax vessels to transit the canal.
These ships have more than double the capacity of Panamax vessels, but they cannot transit the existing canal due to their large dimensions.
Either Panama understood the urgency of making a decision and acting accordingly, or it will be restricted to a secondary position among international trade routes.
The Panamanian people had the last word on this matter, to approve or disapprove the expansion proposal, which they approved by referendum on October 22, 2006.
And on September 3, 2007, thousands of Panamanians gathered near Paraiso Hill to witness the detonation of the 15-ton blast that marked the official kickoff of the expansion's field works.
Today, the expansion is going at full speed.
But what exactly is the canal expansion program?
It consists of the construction of two new locks facilities, one on the Pacific side and the other on the Atlantic side. Each of these facilities will have chambers or steps to move vessels from sea level to the level of Gatun Lake. The chambers will be 427 meters long, 4 times the length of a soccer field, and 55 meters wide. And how deep? 18.3 meters, the equivalent to a 6-story building. Additionally, each of these chambers will have 3 lateral water-saving basins. This will allow the expanded canal to use 7% less water than with the existing locks. The expansion project also includes widening and deepening Gatun Lake's existing navigational channels, the Pacific and the Atlantic Sea entrances to the canal, as well as deepening the Culebra Cut, the narrowest passage of the canal. Dry excavations will be conducted to build a new 6.7-kilometer long access channel to connect the new Pacific locks with the Culebra Cut. This channel will be 4 times as long as the Bridge of the Americas.
In order to fill the labor demand that will be generated during the 7 years that the expansion works will take, the ACP, in a joint effort with the National Institute for Professional Training and Human Development, INADE by its acronym in Spanish, has already started to train the army of workers that will make this project real. And this time the goal is to reverse the history of the construction of the canal at the onset of the last century, when out of 53,000 workers, only 350 were Panamanians.
The expansion's environmental management plan ensures that all works involved in the expansion consider mitigation measures for environmental impacts. One of these measures is to plant 2 hectares of forest for each hectare affected by the works. The first 2 dry excavation contracts include reforestation programs to cover 260 hectares, equivalent to 75% of New York's Central Park. The ACP has also paid $639,285 to the National Environmental Authority as ecologic compensation for the vegetation affected by the expansion works. Additionally, prior to removing a single cubic meter of material, the Canal Authority has made sure to rescue and relocate all of those animals that may not move to another area by their own means. In the first 8 months since the execution of the expansion program began, approximately 340 animals have been rescued. Among these animals, we find sloths, boas, and crocodiles.
The first dry excavation contract for the Pacific Access Channel, PAC 1, has been under execution since September 2007. The ACP awarded this $41 million contract to Constructora Urbana S.A., CUSA. In January 2008, CUSA completed one of the project's components, the clearing of 146 hectares of disposal site T6, which used to be one of the firing ranges utilized by the U.S. Army in Panama. Specialists in collecting and handling these military artifacts were hired to execute this job and comply with all safety measures required. During the 5 months that these clearing works took, 665 munitions were recovered and demolished, including mortars, missiles, grenades, and rockets. This Panamanian company also has to excavate and remove 7.4 million cubic meters of material. This amount will be enough to fill 250 soccer fields with a 1 meter layer of material. CUSA must also reduce Paraíso Hill from 136 to 46 meters, comparable to demolishing a 30-story building. In addition, CUSA must relocate a 3.4 kilometer long section of Borinquen Road, which is located west of Pedro Miguel Locks. Since they started on December 2007, the RH-120E hydraulic excavator and the 7 777 Caterpillar trucks used by PAC-1 have been working night and day to advance the excavation works on top of Paraíso Hill. By the end of September 2008, CUSA had achieved 66% progress on the PAC-1, which should be ready before January 2010.
The second dry excavation contract is being executed by the Mexican and Panamanian consortium known as Silsa Panama Minera Maria. The removal of 7.5 million cubic meters of material began on March 1, 2008, and is being performed with the largest heavy-duty equipment ever used in a construction in Panama. 4 785 Caterpillar trucks, which are able to move up to 150 tons of material. Silsa Panama Minera Maria will have to relocate the last 1.3 kilometer long section of Borinquen Road and create a 3.5 kilometer long diversion channel for Cocoli River. By September 30, 2008, this consortium had completed 22% of these works. The completion date for this contract is October 2009.
In September 2008, the ACP announced the opening of the bidding process for the third dry excavation contract for the Pacific Access Channel. The works include excavating, removing and disposing of 8 million cubic meters of material, cleaning of 190 hectares firing range, and leveling Paraíso Hill to 27.5 meters. Next year, the ACP plans to announce the bid for the fourth and last dry excavation contract. The execution of this contract includes building Borinquen Dam. This structure will compensate for the difference in elevation between the Pacific Access Channel and Miraflores Lake and allow for expedite two-way vessel transit.
On April 1, 2008, the third contract for the Panama Canal Expansion Program was awarded to Dredging International, whose $177.5 million proposal was the best offer submitted. This Belgian company is now responsible for widening the Pacific Entrance navigational channel to 225 meters and deepening it to 15.5 meters below the low tide's average level. Dredging International will also dredge the new south axis to the third set of locks on the Pacific side. These works will allow higher draft vessels to enter the expanded canal.
At the same time, the ACP began conducting dredging operations with its own personnel and equipment to deepen and widen Gatun Lake and to deepen the Culebra Cut, where 27 million cubic meters will be removed.
4 consortia have already been pre-qualified as tenderers in the bidding process for the third set of locks design-build contract. The contract will be executed by a consortium selected from this group. These 4 consortia have gathered a total of 30 companies from 13 countries. Just to give you an idea of the high profile of the participants, 4 of these companies occupy the first 5 positions in the world ranking for international construction. And at least one member of each of these consortia is